welcome back to the channel, guys. Playing with Harry again at Warp Storm.
Hello everyone.
But we have got a little surprise for you because we are playing with the new codex. Hey. So we're actually using the new Space Marine codex with Ultramarines.
Yeah.
And
I'm taking the bad guy role, obviously.
Well, you know, Blood Angels, we're always the good guys. So we're going to be playing semi-competitive codex versus the new boys on the block and see how they do. I
will admit I've got one vague practice game with this. I've got a vague idea what I'm doing. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, definitely. So, Harry's running his Ultramarines, so he's just going to go through his list and see what he's brought today.
Well, first thing I'd like to say is massive point changes across the dot. This initially was about 1550 points. It's now down to 14. It's basically dropped 100 points. It's just
crazy.
It's brilliant. So, kicking all off, I've got my Primaris captain here. So he's going to be using one of the new Ultramarines Warlord traits, which is Calm Under Fire. Basically, a 6-inch bubble of ignoring the -1 to falling back and shooting. So
nice.
It completes having the fly keyword to most of my units. I'm also going to give him from the Standard Marine Codex the Vox relic. It's the last one on the page. That will increase the aura, so the real hit roll, the 1 aura, by 3 inches. He's armed with a Mastercraft Auto Bolt Rifle and a Power Sword. Moving on to my next HQ, I've got a Lieutenant with Power Sword and Bolt Pistol. I've paid 1 extra CP, so I'm starting off with 7 CP on one of the Ultramarine specific relics, which is the Tarantine Cloak, or however you call it.
Tarantino Cloak.
Yeah, that'll do. So what that does is it gives the bearer a fire pin bun, which lieutenants are usually lacking. In addition, I get to, at the start of my movement phase, heal D3 wounds a turn. So Oof. It will just keep him alive for a little bit longer.
Little bit of cheese.
Love it. Now moving on to troops, I have got 3 intercessor squads. Each of these all armed with bolt rifles, and the central squad has a sergeant with a power sword.
The lovely limited edition model.
Good old Cassius. Moving on then to elite choices, I've got my Primaris Puckery. I want an extra character on. We'll see how it works. He's dropped down a decent chunk of points as well, so always worth having.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to the 2 fast attack options, I've got my not Hellblasters, my Insectors, who are basically mini Hellblasters. They're armed with 2 Plasma Exterminators each, and they do exactly what Hellblasters do, but personally I think they do better, just because they don't die first turn.
They are on some absolutely fantastic bases.
Cheers, cheers. Next fast attack choice, oddly, are my Suppressors. These I've just converted up from the standard intercessor kit because I'll be honest, I am not a massive fan of the standard GW models. They don't look right to me. So these are my versions. Armed with the autocannons, just a nice solid bit of long range Dakar. Moving on then into fast attack, we have got a pair of Storm Tannon gunships with both are armed identical. They've both got twin assault cannons and Typhoon missile launchers. And they've gone down a chunk of points. They were about 200, now rocking at 176. So it's just
big drop.
Well, they need to. They just need to.
Definitely.
They were borderline worth it. Now actually they're a solid little unit. So it's either Storm Tannon in that configuration, or for 1 point more you take the Plasma Interceptors.
Yeah, definitely.
Not bad at all. And then finally into heavy support, I have got 2 Predator battle tanks. They're armed with the Predator battle cannon and 2 las cannon sponsons, and that is, well, was 1500. It's now about 1450 points.
We both bit of a drop,
just a little bit.
Okay, so I've brought a battalion detachment as well. 1500 points. Well, 1497 if you want to be exact. Gone for 2 HQ choices. I've gone with Mephiston and his 3 powers plus smite, a Shield of Sanguinius, which is the Invan save for anyone within 6 inches. Quickening, so we can get the board quicker, and Wings, just so we can absolutely demolish getting across the board. And then we've got your standard Slam Captain. I have paid the CP to give him Death Visions of Sanguinius, so he has Death Company keyword, so he gets a 6-up Feel No Pain on top of the extra attack, and with Shock Assault makes him even more deadly.
He's not going to be fun to fight against. Just not.
And then into elites, I brought an Imperial Space Marine.
I've not seen this guy in a while.
Yeah, disintegrator gun. I had an extra 60 points, so I was like, well, let's have a bit of fun and melt a few people that get in his way. And then onto troops, I've got 2 squads of intercessors, one with auto bolt rifles, one with the new Stalker, because it's got the extra damage, just to try it out, and it's a heavy 1. So I'm only getting 5 shots a turn, but that 2 damage could wipe out another intercessor squad on the opposite side. Then I've got a standard tactical squad, which are also rocking a heavy bolter. So I can use hellfire shells if needs be against any vehicles getting too close, or just try and lay down a bit of fire or hold objectives. And then small crying face, because my suppressors are the originals and they're not converted to look as awesome as Harry's. So mine are the steel box standard ones. And then I'm running some actual Hellblasters, not the jumpy pack ones. They've just got your standard rapid fire plasma cannons. And then bringing in for a bit of heavy, I've got my Redemptor with macro plasma cannon, the rocket pod because there are a couple of flyers, and then the Gatling cannon in his fist. And then bringing a big flyer. So I've got my Storm Raven with me. It's loaded up with the 2 Hurricane bolters, las cannons, and heavy bolters, and the missiles. So he will be a flying Land Raider.
I'll be honest though, bigger is not always better though, Tom.
And then because of the new rules, so you've got the Turn 1 drop pods. Have brought a drop pod with me with some Stern Guard. So the Stern Guard are the original metal ones. So they have the combi melter, and the Sergeant has Power Fist on them.
Cool.
But they just need to be finished.
I know, but definitely. It's fine.
Today's mission is Frontline Warfare, taken from Chapter Approved 2017. So we've just deployed the map and we'll show you what it's like. Okay, so today's map is deployment of Dawn of War, so 12-inch deployment zones on each side, and with Frontline Assault, or Warfare actually. The objective markers, there's 2 in no man's land, so 2 and 3 in the middle, 12 inches from the centre. And then in our deployments, we got number 4, which is on Harry's side in a crater, which is pretty good for him. But I've been sneaky and I've snuck mine behind a building, so it will be nice and hidden, with ruins being bottom level, line of sight blocking. Of course, when you're in a crater, you get cover, and the trees are also, like the craters, give you a bit of cover as well. Okay, so deployment's done. Harry's pulled his 2 flyers at this end. Probably going to try and sweep across the board with a 50-inch movement. And then we've got some intercessors. And with the new 9-inch bubble, you got 2 predators that have managed to stick themselves in a beautiful position in between where the captain in the middle and the lieutenant. So they're not too clumped together, kind of a small advantage. Then you got suppressors on top of the building, and there's an apothecary on the level down, and some intercessors hiding on the bottom floor. And then you just got some more intercessors a little bit lower. Then for the Blood Angels, you got the Storm Raven at the opposite corner. Luckily it's still on the board. Some intercessors hiding behind this building. The heavy intercessors on top, with suppressors hiding in the back. And then up this end, you've got the Hellblasters, the Captain and Mephiston all hiding in one building, and the Redemptor and the Tactical Squad with the Imperial Space Marine hiding in this one, which is making up the Blood Angels deployment. And then in reserve, we got the drop pod, of course, with the Stern Guard, and the interceptors with the plasma cannons.
Sneeze, go for it.
Yeah. So we can do a couple of shenanigans, but of course, going to seize with Blood Angels, so see if this goes off. And with the 3, close, but no cigar.
Alright then, so end of Ultramarines movement phase. This squad here, not really liking the look of the Hellblasters, have just snuck up behind the wall. The Flyers have come over to probably engage some of the infantry. Suppressors stay where they are. They've got good arcs of fire, there's no need to move them. The Predator has moved over from here to here, along with the Captain Lieutenant. This Predator has stayed stationary, and then this squad here is just fanned out a bit just to deny that drop pod with those Stern Guard veterans. Finally, this squad here is just pushed up out of line of sight into that ruin.
Yeah, pretty good. Going into the shooting phase.
Right then, so as you remember, I move the Predator over to here. For 1 CP, I'm going to spend a striking point, a new one, on Big Guns Never Tire. That was the old-fashioned Iron Hand stratagem. So that allows me to move and not suffer the penalties for moving, firing heavy weapons.
Nice.
So he is only shooting at -1, so I'm going to pop everything into the Storm Raven.
Nice.
That thing's just got to die.
Let's see how it does then.
So 2 las cannons, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s because the captain. 2 hits.
Nice.
Freeze to wound. Re-rolling 1s because the lieutenant.
Yep.
1 wound
One
at
wound.
-4 AP because of Devastator Doctrine.
Yep, so no save.
No save to D6 damage. That's
For
4.
4, so it's down to 10 wounds.
Happy days. And then 2d3 with the Predator Autocannon. 3 shots.
3 shots.
I'll take it. It's got to be something. Reroll that 1. Cool. And then 2 hits. 2 wounds because you're toughness 7, aren't you?
Yes.
Yep, so 2 wounds at AP -2 then.
So 5 up. So 1 goes through.
That's a flat 3 damage.
Flat 3 damage, so he is down to 7 wounds. Ooh, bit of a tough bit of shooting there. So at the end of the shooting phase, we've lost 1 Hellblaster. He absolutely soaked full-on autocannon fire thanks to 2-up saves. But we did lose 3 of the heavy bolt rifles on top of the building to suppressors, and then the major damage coming from the Predators has absolutely blitzed the Storm Raven down to just 4 wounds. So he's going to be walking wounded this first turn for Blood Angels. Let's see how it does. Okay, so end of the Blood Angels movement phase. Of course, we've drop podded. Turn 1, 9 inches away. Stone Guard have jumped out. They're looking at some pesky intercessors, and the sergeant at the front's like, yeah, let's go and mow them down, boys. They took our jobs. And then we've had the Redemptor come out, and he's looking to eye up one of the Talons with his missile launcher, maybe plasma cannon and Gatling cannons and stuff into those intercessors, and the Imperial Space Marine as well. Normal TAC Marines have got up above the flyers somehow, and they're going to rain down fire on them. If there's anything left, probably going to get Mephiston and the Slam Captain to mop them up in the charge phase. Pulled the Hellblasters up so they can have a look at a Predator across the way. Try and pop some shots off. Same with suppressors and the heavy Stalker bolt rifles. Probably going to go after the other suppressors in the building. And the intercessors have moved up. They're hiding at the moment because they're just ready to pounce on that one objective to try and hold it. And the Storm Raven has flown all the way across in a straight line and is currently peering at a Rhino? Why do I keep saying that? Predator and some intercessors. Might take him out and see what happens.
Go.
Okay, so Psychic phase, going to be doing Quickening and Wings. Need to get Wings off so we can actually attack the flyers. So I'm going to try and do Wings first. So Walk Charge of 5, which goes off on 11. So he's definitely got Wings. And then I'm going to have to try and pull off a 7 to get Quickening, to give him an extra D3 attacks on and an extra 3 to his charge. So I can definitely can't fail the charge. But I've got to pull it off with a 7, which with a 9, definitely pull that off as well. Okay, so after some brutal shooting, they managed to pull off the Hellfire shells, getting the mortal wounds on the flyer, so it's down to 7 wounds. And pumped some Hellblasters and the Storm Raven into the Predator, that's down to 3 wounds, and killed 1 intercessor. The suppressors and the Stalker bolt rifles managed to kill 1 suppressor. And then the drop pod crew jumped out, opened up, did 1 wound. And the Melter managed to miss. So, so now we're going to do the Redemptor and the Imperial Space Marine into the intercessors. Okay, so the Redemptor is going to put the Plasma Cannon, Gatling Cannon, and Storm Bolters into the intercessors. And of course the Rocket Pod into the flyer, because I get the +1, -1, so I'm hitting it on a 3 instead of 4. So D3 shots for 1, and then hits Strength. What strength is it?
Strength 7, I believe.
7 against toughness.
It's toughness 6, so 3 to wound.
3 to wound. Bah.
Doesn't even wound.
Doesn't even wound. And then we'll do the onslaught Gatling cannon into the intercessors, so hitting on 4s, because I have moved. And then wounding you on 3s. So 1 wound.
1 wound. That's a fail.
Yeah, that's a wound.
So 1 wound on.
And then a D6. I'm going to overcharge the plasma cannon, because when you got a plasma cannon, you've always got to overcharge it, because it's always fun when it blows up in your face. So I get 6 shots.
Oh god.
Oh god. 6 shots. Hitting on 4s, but 1s, I take more
1s
wounds.
and 2s, you take more
1s and 2s, yeah, I do. So I've taken 4 mortal wounds. 1 hit. 2s goes through.
Is it 3 or 4?
I think it's 3 damage.
No, it's -4, so you kill a guy.
Yeah, insta dead guy.
Cool, he's dead.
And then Storm Bolters. Why can't I do that with plasma?
No, because that's worse. You're still 4 mortal wounds. 2 wounds.
2 wounds off the Storm Bolter.
Takes another wound.
Takes another wound, so 1 down to another wound. And that's it for the Redemptor. And then the Imperial Space Marine gets rapid fire 1, but I'm not in rapid fire range, it's just 1 shot. So he is hitting on 3, hits, strength 5, so he's wounding on a 3, but he fails. And I've already used a CP this turn, so he's not going to melt anyone.
Thank goodness.
Okay, so a bit of Blood Angel shenanigans. Use the Slime Captain to charge in so he doesn't get overwatched with his Angel Wings relic. So he plunked himself in the middle and then managed to get Mephiston in so he didn't get overwatched as well. And then consolidate the Slime Captain into 1, Mephiston went into the other. So we're just going to roll off and see what happens to the 2 flyers. So as per usual, when Blood Angels get too close to anything, so the Slime Captain demolished his Storm Talon that he was up against. Mephiston struggled a little bit, got down to 4 wounds remaining. So I did have to pay the extra 3 CP to make the Slime Captain fight again. So he managed to wipe it out. So both the flyers are gone, which is kind of good because it means I have a bit of free reign to run around and not have 2 flyers pressuring down on me. So we're going to go into Harry's turn 2 and see what happens.
Alrighty then, so to deal with the Stern Guards, this squad of intercessors which were camping out in there, they've just gone out and dealt to deal with them. Lieutenants come on, might join in with the party, we'll see. Pocket 3 didn't do his job, the guy's still dead. One thing I will say is I have now changed to the tactical doctrine, so that means that rapid fire and assault weapons get an additional -1 AP. Also in the Ultramarine supplement, it gives me the additional bonus of units get to move and fire heavy weapons without penalties. So I've been able to escape out of the grasp really. So this Predator that's on his last one in the middle bracket, he's chugged along slowly into the middle, and this Predator's gone to get away from the Stone Guard, the Redemptor and the Smash Cannon, just make things more difficult to face. And then finally, squad of intercessors here are staying still, hoping to take some shots at the Storm Raven.
Yeah, doing with them.
And finally, the squad of 4 intercessors, which were kind of lucky with their saves, are now going on to take on that Smash Captain and Mephiston. Someone's got to die. I'm sorry, someone's got to die there. And so, using one of the new stratagems in the Ultramarines codex called Martial Precision. Now, the way I read that, you can choose 1 weapon to make an attack, and that automatically hits. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. This is literally, it's been out, what, 10 hours at this point.
Not just that, put it in the comments, because that's how
yeah, that also helps. So on the damaged Predator here, he's on the 2nd bracket at the moment, so he's going to be hitting on 4s. So I'm going to use Martial Precision on the Predator to go in against the Hellblasters, so they're going to be automatically hit with the Predator autocannon.
Oh, nice.
And then the 2 Lascans are going to go some Hail Mary shots against the Storm Raven.
Yeah, hitting on 5, so you might get 1 through.
Happy days. So 2d3 shots with the Predator autocannon. Of course, we roll 2. Freeze.
Auto hits. So
2 wounds at
wounds.
-1, but you're on cover, so 2 3-up saves.
2 3-ups. So one's dead.
It's something.
Oof, that squad is getting whittled down.
Then Hail Mary shots.
Oh, one's got through.
Reroll ones because the captain
Yep.
with his Vox. No.
No.
Freeze to wound. At wounds. 6-up save.
6 up. That's... Oh,
yes.
Keeping it alive. At the end of the shooting phase, lost a lot of stone guard down here, just the one sergeant with his power fist staring down a lot of intercessors. Might not go well for him. Over here, a ton of shots went into a slam captain, and he's shrugged 90% of it off, came off with only losing 2 wounds. Redemptor down to 10 wounds. I think that's the longest that thing's ever been alive. Also, as you saw, lost another Hellblaster to the auto cannon fire. Intercessors and the Stalker Bolters and Suppressors didn't actually get anything. They've just been chilling out.
It was.
And then we had another Predator and Intercessors go into the Storm Raven and did absolutely nothing. Managed to pull off a last cannon save and 5-up saves as well.
So, Intercessors are checking the Smash Captain. So, all in all, thanks to the new Shock Assault rules, they are rocking in that squad of 4 with 14 attacks.
It's like you're playing Blood Angels at this rate, Christ.
I was about to say it's more like the Orcs. That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's fine. And then falls to wounds.
Oh.
3, 4, 5 wounds. No AP.
So 5 2-ups. This is where I failed 3 of them because that's how I roll. I failed 1, so he's down to 2 wounds.
Oh, feel no pain for definitely.
Feel no pain. Thanks for reminding me. So he's still on 3 wounds. He didn't take a single wound. Typical Slam Captain fashion.
Fair enough.
Then we've got the combat over here where we've got, again, a load of intercessors. This is going to be brutal against one lowly little Marine.
Would you like to intervene?
No, I don't think so.
That's fine, that's fine. So, they're going to move in like that. So we'll start off with the Sergeant. He's rocking in with 4 attacks because he's got Power Sword instead of Chain Sword.
Okay.
So hitting on 3s. Yep, wounding on 4s. 1 6-up save, please.
Oof. Here we go. Crunch time. And he's dead. No.
Cool. And they, because I don't fancy that Storm Raven being nearby, they're going to pile in to the drop pod.
That's fair enough. So my drop pod gets 400 attacks on the chart. No,
does it actually get anything?
I don't think it actually gets anything. It's
no,
stationary.
It doesn't.
It might fall on you, but that's about it. Okay, so at the end of the movement phase, the Redemptor's gone and sat on the objective, but he's in pretty good line of sight of the Predator. Mephiston and Slam Captain have gone for a little stroll towards the drop pod because they need to reclaim it. And the Flyer has just taken a little stroll down memory lane and literally sat in the middle of a bunch of Ultramarines. It might kill them off. The 2 Stalker Patterns jumped out the building, advanced as well, heading back towards capping that one objective. And the other Intercessors just jumped into a little rock pile and decided to wait it out, see if they can survive long enough to take that one. So we're going to move on to shooting, and then we'll come back. Okay, so second phase, Mephiston, doing the same as last time. Going to go with wings, just because he gets a 12-inch move and he gets fly, so I can fall back if I need to. So I'm casting that on 5. So on 6 it goes off, so he's definitely got wings. And then we'll go for quickening as well, so he gets plus D3 attacks and 3 to his charge. And that goes off as well.
Cool, I've got no defence.
So he's going to be storming across, which is always good. Okay, so that was horrendous from the Blood Angels. We shot a lot of fire across the board and did nothing. Absolutely diddly. So we're going to go into charges. We're going to put Mephiston and Slam Captain, at least try and make them kill something. Yep. They'll probably fail their charges now, and this will be the world's weirdest turn ever. So we'll come back in just a sec. Okay, so even with a relic allowing me to re-roll charges, I can't even make an 8-inch charge. The Slam Captain misfired his jetpack and just did nothing. Well, Mephiston, really up for a fight, has absolutely barreled in, so we'll have to see what he does. Okay.
Right then, to probably delay the inevitable, I spent 2 CP, so I'm down to 1 command point left.
Oh, good.
On one of the new stratagems, transhuman physiology. So what that basically does is that any wound roll, so if select a unit that's not a vehicle or a servitor, intercessors aren't, on a wound roll of 1, 2 or 3, that wound fails. So Mephiston's going to be wounding on 2s. So just fingers crossed they might survive this.
Yeah, definitely, with Red Thirst. So, Mephiston has been buffed up, so he's on 8 attacks, so hitting on 2s. So, no rerolls because I'm out of 6. And then, so normally I would be wounding on 2s with Red Thirst, but I'm up to 4s. So we'll have to see how that does. So that is only 2 gets through instead of the usual. Oh,
so was that all wounding normally?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. So 2 6-up saves.
You make one of them, so D3 damage.
One's on 1 wound already.
Yeah, so he's automatically dead. Oh god.
So actually, that saves the squad.
Yeah, that is worth 2 CP.
That is worth it.
Against heavy hitting units, that is worth 2 CP. So, on the attacks back, a lot of attacks went in. Managed to knock a wound off Mephiston. Luckily I shrugged 1. But normally where I would have decimated the entire squad in 1 round of combat, I'm kind of stuck. Unfortunately I can't drop the drop pod on them. So we'll have to see what happens in the next turn. And go. Okay, so Harry's actually leaving his deployment zone with Ultramarines? This is unheard of. So Predators have moved up because he's staying with Tactical, so they're not going to probably suffer any penalties. We've got Intercessors hiding in a bush, because that's where all Intercessors hide for the rest of their lives. Warlord is starting to make a move, starting to play a little bit dangerous now, knowing that there is a Slam Captain nearby, but then he has fallen back with his squad over here, so they can shoot, so they might be able to kill one of the 2 of them, or even both. Suppressors have moved up, so they've got a bit more clear line of sight on the Intercessors in the crater. Then the Apothecary ran up and tried to heal someone, failed, so now he's immobile somehow. Yeah, I think he just fell over. And then we've had a little bit of dirty deep striking. So the Interceptors with Plasma have dropped in, so I'm probably going to lose these Intercessors and probably my Hellblasters, or even my Tactical squad, but that means that this is high priority for Harry to try and capture.
Last CP is being spent on the old classic, Silence Gilliman, going on the Plasma Receptors. Just, you've got to go with it. It's tried and tested, it just works. So we are going to do, we're going to fire this chap here up at the Hellblasters.
Oh, split fire.
This chap here at the Intercessors, and the Sergeant, he's also going to go into the Hellblasters as well, actually. In a heavy anti-infantry, he just needs to die.
Awesome.
Cool. So the Sergeant, D3 shot, 2 D3 shots, so that is 4 shots. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Cool. 2s. And those are at -4 because of the Tactical Doctrine. So
Tactical Doctrine, so
6s
go.
to save.
Oh, 4 6s. So all go through. How many damage piece?
2 damage plot.
So that's one of them dead. Cool.
Cool. And then the other chap was wasted, so last guy into the other Interceptors. So 2 shots, still 2 D3 shots, sorry. So 2 shots, hitting on 3s. 2 hits.
Nice.
2s.
Nice.
2 wounds, -4.
So no save.
2 damage, they're dead.
They're dead. They are disintegrated. So, a little bit of cheeky combat. The Lieutenant came charging up to Mephiston, punched him in the face, and took a wound off. So he is down to 3. And then Mephiston decided he was very angry after last turn when he couldn't really wound anyone, and absolutely slaughtered the Lieutenant back. So we'll move on to Blood Angels turn 3. Okay, so end of movement and psychic phase for Blood Angels. Mephiston only managed to pull off wings, so he has that little bit of mobility. Slam Captain is run across, ready to try and go after Harry's Warlord. And the Imperial Space Marines come into shooting range, because he has to try and get rid of this in my backfield. Same with the Storm Raven, who's just come back across to try and deal with this little threat. Nothing else really moved. Suppressors aren't moving, because they're getting -1 to hit if they do. Same with the Redemptor. I just don't want him running around, because then he doesn't hit as well. So we're going to try and blast some stuff off the board now. Okay, so after shooting, we managed to take down an intercessor. Finally wiped out a predator, but it took a lot of shots. Still kept soaking. Also got rid of the suppressors in this building, so it frees up mine to not keep getting battered. Managed to get the interceptors, the sergeant down to 2 wounds. Managed to kill off the other 2, but I had to burn Hellfire shells, and luckily I got a good disintegrator shot in as well. But then Storm Raven did just 1 wound. But we'll see what happens after combat. So after combat, the Slam Captain does what he does best and absolutely pretzeled Harry's Warlord. Though he did actually save all but 2, so it was very close for me to actually kill him. Mephiston charged him over here, killed 3 guys, left with 1, but then he got punched in the face, and he's also down to 2 wounds. Okay, so the end of Harry's movement. The Predator's reversed a bit, so it's holding the objective, as we're now in turn 4. We are very, very close to the end of the game when these objectives actually mean something. Mephiston is been kept in combat with the Apothecary and the Sergeant, so they might actually kill him this turn. Intercessors are burned up, so they're on an objective as well, but they have to try and last another turn and hope that they don't get absolutely shredded. And the 2 wounded Sergeant Interceptor has run into cover, but he is holding that objective, which is worth 4 points at the end of the game. So that is a lot of trouble for me because I need to get him off. Okay, so end of the shooting phase. The Interceptor overcharged, didn't slay himself, which was good, but he also killed 2 suppressors. We had a bunch of Intercessors shoot at the Blood Angel Intercessor, managed to only take 1 wound off because he's lying down in that crater, hoping for a swift death at some point. And the Predator, 2 las cannons into drop pod, didn't kill the drop pod, but the autocannon shot in at the Slam Captain, got through, murdered him, because trying to stop 6 wounds on a 6+ ain't ever going to happen. Okay, so in combat, the Intercessors didn't charge. Mephiston got wailed on, but managed to shrug it, and then when he attacked back, managed to take a wound off the Apothecary, and got the Sergeant down to 1 wound, but we'll have to see what happens next turn. End of movement. Redemptor and Tactical Squad to stay still for the time being, just so they don't get any minuses. The Imperial Space Marines just run up, but now he's in range to shoot at the Interceptor. And the Suppressors and the other Intercessor have all stayed still. Storm Raven's scattered over here, so he has good line of sight on these guys. And Mephiston stayed in combat for the time being. So at the end of turn 4, it took a lot of shooting from a lot of people to get rid of that 1 Interceptor. He managed to get down to just 2 Intercessors, took a couple of wounds off the Predator, and Mephiston finally dealt the death blow to the Sergeant and the Apothecary, and has shrugged a little bit more into that corner. Maybe go after the Predator next turn, but we'll have to see what happens. Okay, so after shooting and combat, the drop pod's down to a wound. Mephiston unfortunately took a las cannon to the face. Over here, the Intercessor's shot didn't do anything, ran in, managed to get a hit off, didn't kill him, and got punched back in the face and died. So that's still locked in combat. So moving on to Blood Angels turn 5. End of movement, Redemptor stayed still. Tactical Squad and Imperial Space Marines started running towards this one. Brought the suppressor down, so he's actually securing that. Ran, this one guy fell out of combat, so he's on the objective. And the Storm Ravens reversed into cover on hover mode, so he doesn't get cover bonus from shooting. And that's it. We're going to do shooting and see what happens. Okay, so end of turn 5. A lot of shooting went into the Swarm Marine. Managed to kill him off. Did a couple of wounds to the Predator. And we're about to roll off to see if we go any longer. Goes on for a turn. So 1 more turn. Let's see what happens after Harry's movement. So Harry's movement, he literally pivoted the Predator back a little bit. Killed the Intercessor. Killed the Suppressor, so we're going to quickly move on to Blood Angels. So, at the end of Blood Angel shooting, I managed to pour everything into the Land Raider and Hurricane bolted it off the Land Raider, a Predator. Poured the Hurricane bolters in, which actually finished it off, not a las cannon. At the end of the game, because unfortunately Harry has been tabled, I score 1 point for holding my own, 2 points for the Redemptor holding 1, an extra point for Linebreaker. Harry got Slay the Warlord, yep. So it has ended 6-1. So absolutely fantastic game. So we're just going to have a bit of a recap in a second, and so stay tuned. Okay, so after action battle report, win for the Blood Angels, which is always good.
Bit of a shame.
But to be honest, new codex Ultramarines are very tough.
Yeah, I had a quick practice game with a couple of mates beforehand prior to Tom coming along, just to see, so I had a vague idea what was going on. They were pretty decent then, actually. Marine on Marine, yes, you had the benefit of the +1 to wound in combat, but actually I had +1 AP in shooting that just ripped through. That forced you to go onto your inbun so many more times than you used to.
And the fact that your Predators are now so mobile, or just in general, you weren't sat back, you were actually getting in my face.
Because previous codex, once Slam Captain went down, that first Predator would have gone turn 2, turn 3, and then just delete 1, delete 2, delete 3. Yeah, job done.
As it always is. And the fact that you can shrug my Red Thirst onto 4s, which is a thing,
it's 2 CP stratagem. Would I have used it again on that squad again? Possibly, possibly not. I would have maybe preferred to have it on the captain. Yeah. Just on that last, just to make sure that wasn't a warlord kill. But in hindsight, actually, that was the right thing to do, because if he had survived and Mephiston had died when he should have died, he lived around so much. The idea was that if they survive, they fall back, and then they just move and they hide behind the following. Sorry, I'm looking at the board just straight ahead. So they hide behind the rune that they were fighting behind, and then turn 4, turn 5, they jump at them. Sorry, but your dreadnought's on obsec.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that Drop Pod managed to survive the whole game.
That was pain in the ass.
Yeah, so line breaker straight away, and it's just something to deal with. To be honest, thinking about it, I would probably do the same every game if I do use it.
I'd scrap the stern. I'd just have a spare Drop Pod, or almost pop it into as far out the way of your opponent's army line as possible. So so if that's the corner of your board and opponent's zone sort of starting there, I'll just pop it there out the way. So
very much so. I completely agree with that.
It's not in the face, so it isn't immediately immediately sort of noticeable. But when it comes to turn 4, turn 5, when you're running out of anti-tank weapons, you go, cool, it's up to 6, but there's 8 wounds of 3 up armor you've got to get through. Yeah, and you're completely out of location.
Probably the only thing I would else do with it is if you left your, say, objective open in your deployment, and there was nothing else around it, because it is an end of the game scoring thing, just stick on top, because it's 9 inches of a bubble, and that means they cannot score it unless you blow it up. So then you have to focus it down.
There is always that.
And I think that helped like my Storm Raven a lot, because then you weren't going after it. But
that Storm Raven just lived as well.
Yeah, it just flew around. It saved so many saves. It's probably the longest it's ever lived. And the fact that I took out your 2 flyers, literally, my turn.
In all fairness, I messed up there. I've completely forgot that Mephiston and the Smash Captain were hiding in there. So I've probably got too close, but at the same time, actually, there was plenty of fire going into them anyway. So
and to be honest, I shrugged a lot with Hellblasters. They should have really died.
Maybe not all of them, but a couple would have. A couple more should have died.
It does prove that you don't have to deep strike a Slam Captain every game. You can just hide them in a ruin and pop them out. Because you do get the extra charge range. You can just obliterate stuff that gets in your way.
Definitely.
Which is definitely good. But to be honest, with like your Warlord trait and the 9-inch bubble, so you spread out more.
The Vox Relic. Honestly, playing Ultramarines, you normally took Santi-Kalo because actually the rest of the ones were pretty pants. Hey, it's a free deny. Decent. But that, especially with Ultramarines being so mobile, you're no longer castled up, and it's an easy target for something like Smash Captain.
Exactly.
Or Dark Elder or anything like that. It's I was on a much wider front than I was expecting to be.
Yeah, and you're not putting yourself into like one corner.
No.
Because then you're saying you've not just got the 9-inch deep strike denial, you've also got another 9 inches. You've got 18 inches roughly that you can still get your rerolls.
Definitely.
And then you're pushing me out. And if you use the infiltrators, the infiltrator squad, that's 12 on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's like nearly 20 inches you're pushing me out. Well, over 20 inches you're pushing me out.
Yeah, it's a lot of denial.
Again, it's a lot of deep striking this. Especially things like Gene Stealer Cult as well.
Yeah.
They can't use their cheeky little redeploys and everything.
It does just help all around the board.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see when the new models come out, whether they're like points cost and if they're actually worth taking. There's still some questions about it.
To be honest, I'm looking forward to using the Invicta Warsuit. I think that should be especially for something like, because I will probably run that sort of list normally. Just having something I can go, cool, I just need to shore up a flank. I can stick that guy in infiltrate. It's just a little bit further away. You've got to set up. So if I've got the Dreadnought as a screen, further back I've got the intercessors. And then you finally get to the Predators and the Captain. It just means you've got a couple more turns away.
It's also something I have to deal with turn one because he is in my face. I'm probably if you go first with him, I'm probably going to lose something.
Well, thanks. Maybe not with my rolling.
Yeah, that does happen. But if you have the flamer on it, you're also hitting anyway, so you're doing a lot of damage.
Definitely.
But it's definitely interesting to see Blade Angel supplement when that finally comes out.
That
maybe
some
changes. Yeah.
Really interesting.
I'm definitely going to start taking flamers on things like Death Company, just because in combat, I'm just going to wreck. But nice to not have the Thunderhammer extension of points, but more than likely I'll
that will come eventually. That's
because they need to shut down Slam Captains.
I mean, they are good, but at the same time, they still die. It's like with Ultramarines. Yeah, they still die. And especially with my doctrines, you were not getting your 3-up save very often.
No.
Or like, I think 4-up save is probably your minimum save at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or other than you 3-up in when you smash Captain.
But on like Mephiston, he was taking a heck of a beating, losing intercessors. I think the only advantage I still hold is that Red Thirst.
Yeah, well, it's Marine versus Marines. You're wounding on threes.
The Shock Assault for Blood Angels is a big thing.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Just going in on
really
like 7 attacks on a Slam Captain, 5 base plus 1 for Mephiston.
Well, it was those four intercessors. You'd normally go, what on earth are you thinking charging in? Yeah. Because they'd normally have something like 8 or 10 attacks. Rocking in with 15 attacks, it stacks up after a while.
Yeah, and it does really make a big difference. Especially if I was to roll horribly, I could lose my Warlord straight away.
Completely.
To normal Marines, which would just be like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, because they were, 85 points, something like that? Not even that. They're not that, to be honest, intercessors are not a bad little unit.
No, and you think against stuff like Guard and even Dark Eldar, if they get in combat, they're only toughness 3. So you're wounding them on 3s, and you've got the extra attacks, 16 attacks, even on 10-man squads. You're going to demolish them. They're probably going to run for morale as well, especially if you're using the Terror Troops with Reavers. So they got the extra -1 to morale.
It all stacks up after a while.
Yeah, there's loads of things you can do now, which is absolutely crazy.
I think the main thing the new codex has done, you're still going to have well, I suppose I was rocking in at 1450 points in that by the end of actually taking, because originally that list was it was about 15 points with the old codex. Dropped down so many points.
Yeah, it was a massive drop. I was not expecting that much.
I built that list being 15 thinking I might get 10-15 points dropped off, so it will be about 1500 and probably have to drop out to make it 1500. But no, the extra 50 points would just...
Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing. The fact that you now have to consider what else do you add. Well, a very rare thing.
Immediately, it was 60-70 points, something like that. First you can take Kronos.
Yeah, or even the banner for the rolls.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the Apothecary didn't do masses, I'll be honest.
And they didn't bring anyone back.
No. He either does stupid amounts or nothing. Yeah. It's one of those, because it's a 4-up, he either does something or nothing, simple as that.
Also depends how many points Tigurius is. If you wanted a Librarian for Null Zone, you could really affect Slam Captains. But then he's probably 100-point model, 100 plus.
Let's have a look.
Don't even know how much he is.
I think he's about 130 for them.
But in terms of actually taking different
units, 130 points.
So 130, actually, that's quite a big.
That is big jump. It's a big investment. To be honest, he's the same as last time. Yeah.
Standard Librarian, Kronos, definitely.
Chaplain at this point.
Yeah, Chaplain with the new prayers.
Those new prayers actually sound quite good.
Yeah, especially if it's a Primaris one, so they've got the extra wounds, a little bit tougher.
I still, though, with the Predators rocking around at full whack, you still go, actually, Kronos is not a bad bet. Just hitting on 2s doesn't matter, rocking rounds, taking names, just... Definitely. especially as they've dropped down 5 points as well for Predator loadout, he's 205 points.
Yeah.
For a Kronos in that Predator, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's cheaper than Pascal, I think.
Yeah, and you think your Storm Talons as well with their drop, only 5 points between them and the Predator.
Oh, it's 167. No, 176 for a Storm Talon or 175 for a Predator.
Yeah, so
I'd probably drop a Storm Talon to Predator.
Yeah, go with the tri-preds.
Yeah. All right, babe. We lost kill shot in the book, but let's be honest, it never worked because someone always killed the Predator. So actually, you then lost ability for the stratagem.
Yeah, and to be honest, if you have 3 on the board, especially within that 9-inch bubble, I'm gonna have to seriously think, oh crap, I need to deal with that straight away. But I need to get rid of one of them.
Having 3 Predators, you're not thinking everyone's got to be really close together.
No.
With that 9 inches, you can spread out so much.
Exactly, so you can be quite nice on your deployment. It means I can't tag one, then tag the other, and then tag the other, like it used to be. Yeah. But if I manage to get a lucky deep strike, if you've maybe positioned wrong.
Even still, you're likely to get one caught out, but then because I can move and fire without... Obviously, when I say move and fire, after turn 2, because you've got to activate the tactical doctrine, which actually brings me on to another thing. I think the way to go on for standard Space Marine at the moment is you build around the doctrine.
Yeah, you have your one doctrine.
You don't go and say I'm going to have a little bit of Devastator, a bit of tactical, bit of assault. Too many units won't benefit from it, so you might as well go. Well, you can have heavy weapons anyway because you've got to deal with heavy armor. Yeah. So Devastator is always going to be in use, and then especially for Space Marines, move and fire without 7 minus heavy weapons. You just build around tactical doctrine. Yeah, all your intercessors get better. So all your basic troops and anything with a bolter just gets better. Actually, even the plasma receptors, they're normally -3, so you would get 60 to save. Yeah, they become -4. So actually, plasma receptors, I would generally say they're probably better than Hellblasters.
Yeah, definitely. It's proven tonight with my Hellblasters once you started whittling them down.
Yeah, because
less and less damage.
Unfortunately, everyone knows what they do.
Yeah, and your interceptors dropped in and they just murdered.
Signs of them did out.
Yeah.
That's one thing you've just got to do to make sure that they don't die.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they do just die horrifically.
To the old, overcharge.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, guys, and definitely make sure you like and subscribe. We also have an Instagram channel, which will be in the description below. So make sure you get across because that's where we post all our latest pictures and everything and what's going on. You can keep up to date with the channel. So thanks for watching again, and catch you soon.
Take care, guys.